Robin's brother Sunday is here, and there's a couple of things that makes him actually one of my favorite characters to be released in probably the past year, and that is the diversity of his kit. I mean, he is 3 different characters in one. He's a Bronya, Sparkle, and a Tingyan, because really quickly, before we actually get into the showcase, which is going to be our favorite Xueyi, you know what I mean? Let's just really quickly do an overview on what he's going to be giving to Xueyi, because Xueyi can unironically take advantage of every aspect of his kit except for one. So, in the traces, there's a couple of things that is just going to put him, I was going to say in a different category, but it's actually the same category because he works unbelievably similarly to Bronya, Sparkle, and then a little bit of Tingyan. So here we're going to get that debuff just like Bronya, which means now we don't have to worry about, sustainless teams with Sparkle instead of Bronya with no cleanse. This is an absolutely massive thing that is really going to help zero cycles, and I'm looking forward to actually taking advantage of that on my main account. Now, the ultimate giving energy, right? Because this ultimate, it's going to give 3 things. 3 things. It's going to give 20% energy, which if you use it on a character like Yun Li, for example, 240 energy max, that's going to give you 48 energy. Really damn good. Very similar to like a base Tingyan without the E6. However, even if you use it on a character that doesn't have that much max energy, they're still going to get 40. 40 on a character like this is ridiculous, and we're gonna see how with some showcases, it is actually unbelievable how much having a Tingyan on the team is crazy when you don't actually have her. Although starting the beginning of the fight with a dance is still kind of unmatched. Now, the second and third part of the ultimate that we didn't go over is the crit damage buffs and the skill point generation, right? Because he's gonna be getting that Sparkle-like DNA with that crit damage, and right now he's sitting at around 240. That translates to somewhere in the range of 93 crit damage given to the target. This third part, which I have to take a breath, because I genuinely couldn't believe when I read this part, but every time you use your skill on the ally that you give the ult to, all of your skills are going to be free. You're going to get a skill point back every time you do it, which I don't know what to say. That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous, especially if you pair it with the light cone. Now, the only part that Xueyi in particular is not going to be taking advantage of in Sunday's kit is the fact that his skill is going to advance summons immediately while also giving that extra 50% damage boost. So, if you want to compare this part to Bronya, this is a 30% damage increase. Bronya would have given 66. However, if you compare the energy, right, if you compare the skill points, it's a pretty ridiculous combo. Now, I left the light cone for the end of this because I haven't read too many light cones that make teams easier to build. And let me explain. There's 3 parts of this light cone, and the third part is the craziest, although we'll start with the first one. Every time you use a skill or ultimate, Sunday is going to get 6 energy, which is great. If you have a 3-turn ultimate with 1 ult and 3 skills, you're going to be getting 24 energy, which is pretty comparable to, I want to say, somewhere in the realm of like 20% energy regen, so pretty damn good there. Now the third part, or second part rather, is going to give up to 45% damage bonus, 15 each stack. However, you're going to be able to keep this pretty much on your second turn maxed for the entire fight. The final, but not the least. I don't know. Last but not least, that's what it is. Every 2 skill and ultimates, you're going to get a skill point back. Just think about this. Just think about this. You're going to be using your skill on your character, getting your ult up immediately, which means that the second time you use your skill, it's going to be free. Then, from that point on, every time you use your skill or ultimate, you're going to be getting, every 2, you're going to be getting a skill point back. I can't put into words just how synergistic this is going to be with certain teams that have skill point deficiencies, because now we don't have Sparkle, yet for some reason we do have Sparkle. So I don't know. Anyways, we're going to get right into the showcase. That was a very long intro, but I just wanted to kind of dump my brain about Sunday onto paper, or on this MP4 recording. So let's hop into it. This is going to be MOC 11 because I want Quantum Weakness, and MOC 12 has some super high HP thresholds, and honestly, it's just not too fun right now, so we're going to be going for a little bit of a elementary thing for Xueyi. She's going to be good versus Quantum, let's just say that. So here we go, versus the Bug. Now, clearly I picked this just because it's pure Quantum, and I do want to have a ton of follow-ups trigger for Xueyi, so if we do want to put this versus MOC12, the same 3-man team works, and then you just swap Xueyi for whatever. Now, I actually really like this combo. I've been playing around with many different Sunday cores, and interestingly enough, the Sunday Robin Huohuo works really nicely in my experience, and we're going to see how there's a couple of different things we can do. Now, not clearly, but we cannot advance Robin with Sunday, right? One of the only downsides of his kit. However, we can advance Huohuo, and we can get another attack in, right? We're 27 energy off, but you know what? We've got 135 energy regeneration rate because of post-op, the light cone. So we're going to get the ultimate here. Waste a little bit of energy on Xueyi, but it's fine because we're going to be able to go straight into Concerto. We could have waited for Robin's turn. However, our characters are not very fast, so we would not be able to go again within this cycle. Now here, we're going to go ahead and pop this ultimate, not buffed from the skill of Sunday, which means we don't get that 20 crit rate, and we don't get that 30% damage bonus. However, you know what? As long as we hit our crit, then it doesn't matter too much, because 30% damage bonus isn't actually, like, that crazy of an amount. It's kind of whatever. Now here, we now have our crit rate and our crit damage. So, originally, Xueyi is at 57% crit rate, I believe, although she's going to go to 107. Is she Jingliu? Is Jingliu here? I don't know, but it seems like it. A quantum Jingliu. Now, we're just going to go ahead and just get one extra point for Xueyi. Trigger that follow-up, 147. Not too bad. I do also want to mention, you know, the Quantum 4-piece here would have been so much better. But, you know, I just don't have it in me to farm. I hate farming, especially on these practically infinite relic accounts. So, we are going for the Valorous. A little bit less damage, but you know what? It's fine. So, 78% crit rate. Once we use this ultimate, the Misha Light Cone activates, and that's 30 extra crit rate. So, 100%. We're chilling. Let's clean this up in 0 cycles, and, ooh, okay, you know what? We wasted a cycle there. Could have shaved it off, but you know what? Since we're not going for a 0 cycle, who really cares that much? We're kind of just looking at the synergies between Xueyi and Sunday and how Sunday works in comparison to a couple different characters like Bronya and Sparkle. So, we're going to go ahead and get 40 energy over to Xueyi here, which is amazing. One of the things that Xueyi needs if you're using Misha's Light Cone is a source of energy, either Huohuo Tingyun or now Sunday, right? Because we can't keep that 30% crit rate on Misha's Light Cone infinitely. It disappears after 2 turns. So if we do not get a 2-turn ult on Xueyi, then we're going to miss our crits, and that sucks. So with Huohuo and Sunday in this team, that's not going to be an issue. Now, the energy on Robin is also not going to be an issue because we've got Huohuo giving energy. Huohuo, unironically, gives energy to everybody, right? Gives energy to our energy giver, and gives energy to our energy receiver, and gives energy to our action advancer. Quite a ramble. Time for some music, and we are back in. Let's see if we can take care of the first phase in 1 cycle, and then hopefully the second phase in 1 cycle. Landed all the follow-ups there. Doesn't happen very often. And would you look at this? Another ult is ready. Beautiful. Would have been nice to have an extra 6 energy, but you know what? A bang bang ultimate, and is the true Sting's first phase dead? Almost. Almost. Okay, we'll take it. The MOC buff this time around is not very good. Especially on the majority of teams, because you don't break with a lot of teams. So we'll get a couple more talismans here. Who are we? We're in Dark Souls now. Beautiful. Once more. There is also another variant of this where you put in Sparkle, and then you have Sparkle boost a minimum speed Xueyi, and then have Sunday reboost, so you still get multiple actions. However, you end up running out of the buffs on Sparkle on your second action, which means that you end up running into a couple of problems. Now here, unfortunately, you know what? We're going to have to wait until Huohuo's turn, but because of the synergy of this team, we're... we just got CC'd. So I think what we're going to have to do, instead of basicking, is skill cleanse our Robin, and then go ahead and ult and get the energy up on Robin to then get into Concerto, and then just start dealing all of our damage. Works for me. Sunday's going to get cleansed by himself, so we won't have to worry about it. I mean, by Huohuo, obviously, but it'll happen naturally. No skill points, rough. Ooh, missed every single follow-up. That was depressing. And here we go. Look at that. We went from 0 to 2 skill points because of the beatified skill, right? So his skill is going to make it not pay a skill point, and then that ultimate triggered his light cone. Wonderful. And we even got the kill, which means the Xueyi's ult is up. I wonder if we're going to be able to clean it up right now. I doubt it. So close. So close. So very, very close. And it looks like we're going to be taking a little bit of damage, but that's it. So 3 cycles. Would have been 2 if we just dealt like an extra 4 damage on the first side. Given it is MOC 11, a little bit easier, but it's Xueyi's territory, full quantum. I don't know. This team is looking really, really fun. We should probably test out this combo without Xueyi and just see how all the different cores of Sunday work. We will be doing this over the course of the next week. This is a lot of kills. Okay, back to fast forward, and the fight is over. Wow. Now, for the builds here on Xueyi, we had her 200 break effect, so she will max out with the extra 40. Misha's Light Cone, 4-piece Valor. It's not the best 4-piece, but whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. I did just realize the Talia is actually going to make us overcap on break effect, so I screwed up there a little bit. Didn't realize that. Sunday is a little bit slower, clearly. We got the 4-piece Sacerdos and the 2-piece Lushaka. Ooh, very interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a ton of crit damage. I mean, a ton of crit damage, giving over 100. Not to mention the damage bonus, not to mention the energy. Now we got Robin. Pretty slow. I did put her on speed boost because I couldn't hit 120 naturally. Should have been fixed, but you know what? That's fine. We got the super energy regeneration Huohuo. Works pretty nicely. The 2-piece could have been changed. Maybe a Von Whack actually would have been a tad better, but you know what? That's it. So, how did you guys like this variant of Sunday's team with Robin and Huohuo using Xueyi as our catalyst? I don't know if that's grammatically or definitively correct, but you know what? It still works out. This is the first of very many Sunday videos, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and join the Discord. The link is in the description, and we'll be back with many more Sunday videos today or tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Adios.